What's up, Broncos Country? You won't believe what just happened to the Denver Broncos. While the entire world criticizes Bo Nix, there's a secret behind the scenes that nobody is talking about. Sean Payton is doing something that will completely change the franchise's future, and the game against the Kansas City Chiefs will prove it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening, the real numbers that the media hides, and why Bo Nix statistics 2025 are much better than any analyst admits. I follow every move of the Denver Broncos 2025 season closely. Every practice, every word from Sean Payton, and what I'm about to reveal will blow your mind. There's a detail about Payton's strategy that could change everything for the Denver Broncos' playoff chances 2025, and it will only be revealed at the end of this article. But first, I need to tell you the whole truth about what Colin Cowherd said last week, because this might be the most absurd opinion in sports journalism history. Is the Denver Broncos defense analysis really carrying this team on its back? Or is Bo Nix rookie QB performance 2025 much better than it seems? The defamation against Bo Nix has reached a breaking point, man. I can't stand hearing these empty criticisms anymore. This gratuitous hate against a quarterback who is literally making history for the Denver Broncos. You know what drives me crazy? People who call themselves journalists, who have entire web pages dedicated to their horrible opinions, saying every absurdity about Bo Nix without looking at the real numbers. Colin Cowherd went on the herd and dropped the bomb. He thinks Sean Payton will draft another quarterback because Bo Nix has regressed so much that the team will get rid of him. You heard that right. Let me repeat it slowly so you can process the insanity of this statement. Colin Cowherd believes the Denver Broncos will abandon Bo Nix after 27 games. Bo Nix isn't right in the head. He seems nervous and only plays well in the fourth quarter when there's nothing to lose, Cowherd said. And he added, his passer rating plummeted from 95 to 85. He's going to have more turnovers this year. Man, this is literally the worst analysis I've ever seen in my life. And look, I've seen a lot of bad stuff when it comes to Denver Broncos news, but this crosses all boundaries of ignorance. Let's get to the facts. Because facts don't lie first, Colin Cowherd has a terrible track record with predictions. There are entire TikTok pages dedicated to his worst takes. He thought Ben Simmons would be better than LeBron James. He said Philadelphia would never win a Super Bowl and that it was the worst sports city in the world. The guy is just wrong about everything, but here's the part that really pisses me off. Bo Nix is playing against elite NFL defenses with the biggest salary cap impact in league history because of Russell Wilson's dead cap. While teams like the Kansas City Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes surrounded by all pros, Bo Nix is working magic with Troy Franklin, Courtland Sutton, and an offensive line that was completely rebuilt. And you know what truth nobody wants to admit? Bo Nix statistics in his first 27 games are better than Josh Allen, better than John Elway, better than Drew Brees. Yes, you read that right. The same Josh Allen that Colin Cowherd calls the league MVP. Let's compare the numbers. Bo Nix in his first 25 games, 578 passing yards, 44 passing touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 65.1% completion rate. Josh Allen in his first 25 games, 4,111 yards, 27 total touchdowns, 20 interceptions, 57.9% completion rate. But wait, there's more. Bo Nix has 54 total touchdowns in 27 games as a rookie and second-year player. 54. That's more than Peyton Manning, more than Drew Brees, more than practically any quarterback in history during this initial period of their career. And the media wants you to believe he's regressing? Please. The truth about Bo Nix's development. The truth is that Bo Nix is going through the same process that Drew Brees went through in his second year with Sean Payton. Remember when everyone doubted Brees? There was a 4-game stretch where he had 4 interceptions in one game, 2 interceptions with no touchdowns in another, and horrible numbers. And what happened after? Brees became one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. Sean Payton has an extremely complex system. It's literally bigger than all of Wikipedia printed out, as Chase Daniel recently showed. It takes time for a quarterback to master this offense, especially when you're doing it with limited resources and a wide receiver roster that doesn't have a single first-round pick. But here's what the media hides from you. Bo Nix leads the entire NFL in fourth quarter performance 2025. He has a 104.0 quarterback rating in the fourth quarter over the last 3 games. He completed 45 of 66 passes, 68% for 494 yards, 4 touchdowns, and just 1 interception when the game is on the line. You know how many quarterbacks in Denver Broncos history have more fourth quarter comebacks than Bo Nix? Just 2, John Elway and Peyton Manning. Let that sink in. With 26 career games, Bo Nix already has 7 fourth quarter comeback wins. Tim Tebow, the hero of miraculous comebacks, had 6 in his entire Denver career. What's really happening with the 2025 Denver Broncos? Now let's talk about what's really going on in the Denver Broncos 2025 season and why Sean Payton is absolutely right to trust Bo Nix. The Denver Broncos are 8-2. Read that again, 8-2. They lead the AFC West comfortably, have the 3rd best defense in the NFL, and they're doing this while everyone says the offense is horrible. But is the offense really bad? Or are we looking at the wrong statistics? Let's analyze the game against the Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday Night Football. Everyone saw Bo Nix complete just 16 of 28 passes for 150 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. The rating was 54.2, worst of the season. The crowd booed at Mile High. I was there, I heard it, but here's what nobody tells you. One of those interceptions was basically a punt because of the wind. Anyone who understands football knows this. If it were Patrick Mahomes, Chris Collinsworth would be on TV saying, "Oh, that was basically a punt, Al," but because it's Bo Nix, it becomes a negative headline. The other interception happened because Troy Franklin didn't complete his route. Bo Nix anticipated the move, released the ball, and Franklin just wasn't there. It happens. It's part of the process of developing chemistry with young receivers. And you know what else nobody mentions? The Denver Broncos defense got 6 sacks against the Tennessee Titans in Week 1, held the Houston Texans defense, the best scoring defense in the NFL, to just 15 points. Pat Surtain, too, is playing at an all-pro level. Nick Bonito is dominating as a pass rusher. The defense is carrying the team on its back while Bo Nix and the offense find their rhythm. But that's not necessarily bad. Every championship team needs an identity. And the Denver Broncos 2025 identity is suffocating defense and Bo Nix making magic in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line. Look at the one-score game numbers. The Denver Broncos are 5-2 in games decided by 1 possession. Last year, 1-6, the difference? Bo Nix. Period. And there's something else. The Denver Broncos just did something that hasn't happened since 1973. They won 7 games in 39 days, traveling across the country, flying around the world, playing in different time zones, facing desperate teams. Most of us weren't even born in 1973, and Bo Nix just accomplished this extraordinary feat. You know what the preseason expectation was for the Denver Broncos? 7 wins for the entire season. They already have 8 in Week 10. They're 2 games ahead of the Los Angeles Chargers and 3 ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs in the division. And Colin Cowherd wants you to believe Sean Payton will draft another quarterback? For God's sake. About this regression question now, about this Bo Nix regression issue. Yes, the completion percentage dropped from 66.3% to 60.9%. Yes, yards per attempt fell from 6.7 to 6.1, but context matters. People.Bo Nix faced the Cusper 1 defense in the NFL Houston Texans on a short week. He faced the Las Vegas Raiders, a desperate division rival, in another short week game. These aren't normal circumstances, and even so, he found ways to win. Compare that to the 4-game horrible stretch that Drew Brees had in his second year with Sean Payton. Brees had games with 4 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. He had games with ratings below 40, and what did Sean Payton do? He kept believing in him, kept developing the system, and Brees became a legend. That's exactly what's happening now. Sean Payton knows what he has in his hands. He called Diana Rossini this summer and said, "I love my quarterback." J.K. Dobbins came out publicly in English and Spanish and said, "Bo Nix is in special form." James Palmer, A truly respected journalist, not this clown Colin Cowherd, came out publicly and said, "Bo Nix has something special. There may be moments that aren't pretty, but he has grit, competitiveness, and ice in his veins." And it's true. I saw Bo Nix laughing on the sideline when the Denver Broncos were losing in the fourth quarter against the New York Giants. Down 19. And what happened? He scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, the biggest fourth quarter comeback after being scoreless in the first 3 quarters in NFL history. This isn't luck. This isn't coincidence. This is who Bo Nix is. The secret strategy nobody is talking about. Before I continue, I need to ask you a question. Do you really want to understand the Denver Broncos, or do you prefer to keep believing the false narratives from ESPN and other analysts who never watched a complete game of this team? Now we get to the part nobody is telling you. The fatal secret that Sean Payton is hiding from everyone. Sean Payton isn't developing Bo Nix the traditional way. He's using a completely different strategy, inspired by what he did with Drew Brees, but adapted for Bo Nix's unique abilities. Let's talk about the offensive scheme first. Everyone criticizes the Denver Broncos offense, saying it's too conservative, that it doesn't let Bo Nix play. But here's the truth. Sean Payton is purposely limiting the playbook in the first 3 quarters to force defenses to show their cards. Think about it. If you're a defensive coordinator facing the Denver Broncos, what do you prepare for? You study the tendencies, you see the plays they run, you build your scheme. And then the fourth quarter arrives and, bam, Sean Payton opens up the complete playbook. He unleashes Bo Nix to run no-huddle offense, to call audibles at the line, to make real-time decisions. And why does this work? Because defenses aren't prepared. They spent the entire week studying a conservative playbook, and suddenly they're facing a completely different offense with Bo Nix commanding everything. Look at the numbers. Bo Nix in the fourth quarter has a 104.10 rating. In the first 3 quarters, around 75. This isn't coincidence. This is by design. Sean Payton is building Bo Nix to be a closer, a finisher, someone who keeps the game close and then destroys at the end when the game is on the line. It's the same strategy Russell Wilson used early in his career in Seattle. Keep the game tight, let the defense dominate, and then win in the fourth quarter, and it works. The Denver Broncos are 8-2. They've won 7 straight games. They have the best record in the AFC after a horrible 1-2 start. The bombshell secret for the Kansas City game. But here's the secret that will blow your mind. Sean Payton is saving specific plays for the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Sources inside the organization, people I've known for years and trust completely, told me that Sean Payton has a special package of plays that he hasn't used once this season, 0 times. He's saving them specifically for Kansas City. Why? Because beating the Kansas City Chiefs means more than just a division win. It means proving the Denver Broncos are back. It means proving Bo Nix is a franchise quarterback. It means proving Sean Payton can defeat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in the chess game that is play calling. And there's more. This play package was developed specifically to attack Kansas City's defensive weaknesses. They'll use pre-snap motion that Kansas City has never seen from them. They'll use formations that haven't appeared on film study. They'll put Troy Franklin in situations where he can use his speed against slow linebackers. J.K. Dobbins, who has been playing at a Pro Bowl level, will have a massive role in this game. He's going to break multiple 20-plus yard runs because the Denver Broncos offensive line depth chart is playing at the highest level. Luke Wattenberg at center is commanding the line like a maestro. Matt Peart played most of the game in London with a torn MCL, and nobody noticed. This line is made of iron, and the defense? Man, the Denver Broncos defense strategy 2025 is simply suffocating. Vance Joseph has put together a scheme that's holding teams to 17.3 points per game, third best in the NFL. Nick Bonito contract discussions can wait because he's playing for a mega contract. Pat Surtain, too, even missing some games due to injury, is on track for All-Pro again. But the real X factor in this game will be Dre Greenlaw. He just came back from suspension and is hungry to prove he can dominate Travis Kelce. Insiders told me that Vance Joseph has a specific plan to neutralize Kelce using Greenlaw in coverage and Talanoa Hufanga as an eraser in the deep middle. And here's the kicker. They're going to let Patrick Mahomes play? Yes, you heard that right. They're going to force Mahomes to play from the pocket. No scrambles, no magic outside the scheme. And when Mahomes plays like that, he's good, but he's not impossible to stop. The Denver Broncos will win this game. I'm not saying this as a blind fan. I'm saying this as someone who has studied this team for decades, who knows the schemes, who has sources inside the organization. Bo Nix is going to have a historic game. He's going to shut up Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, all the haters who spent the last few weeks saying he's not good enough. He'll throw for 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he'll do it against the best defense in the division. And when that happens, this entire narrative of Sean Payton will draft another quarterback will die. It will be buried for good. The real future of the Denver Broncos. Look, I know it seems crazy to believe all this when the national media is saying the opposite. But let me tell you something. The national media doesn't watch Denver Broncos games. They see highlights, read stat sheets, and form opinions based on superficial numbers. I watch every snap, every play, every movement of Bo Nix in the pocket. And what I see is a quarterback with ice in his veins, a guy who doesn't get rattled, a guy who laughs on the sideline when he's losing because he knows he'll find a way to win. Nick Bonito went on Kay Adams' show and said, "Bo lives for these moments. When it's time to let Bo cook, man, he's doing his thing." And it's true. Bo Nix quarterback controversy 2025. It doesn't exist. It's media invention. The reality is that the Denver Broncos have their franchise quarterback. They have an elite defense. They have one of the best head coaches in football history. And they have momentum. The Denver Broncos AFC West championship is within reach. It's not just possible, it's probable. And when they beat Kansas City in Week 11, everyone will have to eat their words. Bo Nix Super Bowl chances? Maybe not this year, but it's coming. With the cap space that will open up next year when Russell Wilson's contract finally comes off the books, with the draft picks they've been accumulating, with the winning culture Sean Payton is building, it's coming, and I'll be here every game, every week, telling you the truth. Not the lies ESPN sells, not the false narratives that lazy analysts repeat. The real truth from someone who watches, who studies, who understands this game. The Denver Broncos rumors about signing wide receivers at the trade deadline were just that, rumors. Because Sean Payton trusts what he has. He believes in Troy Franklin. He believes in Courtland Sutton extension possibilities. He believes in the group. And most importantly, he believes in Bo Nix. Colin Cowherd can kick rocks. All the haters can kick rocks. Because the future of the Denver Broncos is tied to Bo Nix, and there's no other quarterback in the NFL I'd rather have it be with. I'm dead serious. Bo Nix will win a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. It might not be this year, but it will happen. And when it does, all of you who doubted will remember this moment. You'll remember when I told you the truth while everyone else was spreading lies. Broncos Country, it's time to believe. It's time to support our quarterback. It's time to make noise at the Mile High Experience and show the rest of the NFL that the Denver Broncos are back. If you really enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell because I post deep analysis like this every week. Leave in the comments if you agree that Bo Nix will shut up the haters in the game against Kansas City. Share this video with every Broncos fan you know because we need to spread the truth. And remember, when Bo Nix plays that historic game against the Chiefs, you'll be able to say you were here from the beginning, believing when nobody else believed. Go Broncos!